All right, the Screen Team is back here on KWOC. We are doing a full hour of movie reviews for you on this Halloween edition of the show. We've got Sabrina J for our first half of movie reviews. We've already taken care of the thriller 10 Cloverfield Lane. Coming up next, we're going to be reviewing our 900th film called Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. But for $8.99, we have got the new movie, Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. It's directed by Tim Burton. It stars Asa Butterfield, Samuel L. Jackson, and Eva Green. And we've got Sabrina in. And Sabrina, this is a movie that both you and I really, really wanted to see. We both love Tim Burton. You were excited when the trailer came out. And then when it came time to go see the film, you left me to babysit.
I did, yeah.
Isn't that
I
right?
went, hey, babe, there's a movie in like 10 minutes. Can I go? Sure. What are you going to go see? I'll be back later. I'm not a very nice person some days.
So you got to see the movie. I didn't.
You'll see it. It's one of those that you are going to see. And everybody else that thinks that it's not worth going to see is going to want to go see it. And if they miss it, man, it's going to stink to have to wait and see it on their own little TV at home.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for that. Appreciate that. So give us, what's going on with this film? What's happening? What's the haps, yo?
Well, these are special children with special talents and gifts that at the time period that they disappear into what they call a loop of time. They are in the 1940s. And all of these children are in this special home that is run by Miss Peregrine. And she is an inbreed, which is a woman who turns into a bird or back and forth. And all of the inbreeds that are born are burdened with caring for the other peculiar children around the world. And so there are different homes and different schools and places like that. So they do their best to the inbreed's talent or gift is manipulating time, and so they can create a time loop on usually the most perfect day ever, and they live in bliss, away from the public, protected, and that way they're not persecuted and things like that, and they can be themselves.
That sounds pretty nice.
It is pretty nice until you realize that every beautiful thing has an enemy that's ugly and awful, and they have an enemy. And he is played by Samuel L. Jackson. The Baron? The Baron, Mr. Baron. And he, along with 5 or 6 other bad peculiars, are grown-ups, and they decided they wanted to live forever. And so they create a way to take the ability to manipulate time from the inbreeds put it into a machine, and they try to, mind meld it into their heads. Well, it backfires and causes their eyes to turn white and turns them into what they call the hollows. And basically, these hollows are monsters. So here's where I give everybody the heads up. This is not a movie that you want your little ones to go see that are sensitive to having nightmares, because these things are awful looking. It's like right up there with Alien.
But this movie's rated PG-13. I don't want people getting the idea that it's...
They're scary-looking creatures. I'm saying a toddler shouldn't go see this movie. It's 13, okay? That age children, the middle school age kids, they're going to be able to understand it and follow it. It's not a little kid's movie. There is nothing cute and adorable about this movie.
Okay, so you've given us the general storyline of this film. After you got done seeing it, you're like, I love this film. I hope they make more. What was it that caught your attention? What is it about this film that you're like, man, I like this film? Was it?
It's the imagination, something new, something different, and I'm starving for that. It's not a remake of anything else. It's based on a book by a very young author who is just getting his feet wet and has this incredible story. Now, I've heard that reading the book isn't that great to some people, where the movie might be a little bit better. So it just depends. I haven't read the book, but I know that there is a book to read. Now, I don't know if there's another book on the way. I don't know if there's another movie on the way. But the way they end this movie, it leads you to believe there's more adventures ahead. And I'm excited about that. I really hope that there are. I hope there are more stories to tell. I mean, the very fact that there are other loops out there and that there are people living inside and outside of the loops who have a relationship, it just gives you so much more potential to have more story.
Of course.
And adventures.
Was there any particular character that you were fond of or that you related to in this film?
Well, I really like the girl whose talent is air. She's the one that lifts up if she doesn't have her lead shoes on.
Okay.
And she's an adorable person, and I just liked listening to her talk and how she cared for all the other little kids. And, oh, gosh, the creepiest ones of all, though, are the little twins.
Yeah, they look creepy.
And, you can watch the previews all you want until you see what's underneath the mask and what their talent is. Mm-hmm. You have no idea how terrifying those two are.
Really?
Wow. Creepy.
How did Ava Green do as Miss Peregrine?
Actually, really good. It was startling at first because she's crass a little bit. She looks so perfect, but she is very fierce, extremely fierce. And, I mean, she smokes a pipe, and you see her smoking the pipe and the smoke billowing out of her mouth and nostrils, and she takes her hands, and she's very witch-like in her mannerisms. And, yeah, you don't want to mess with her. At all. She's a peregrine falcon.
I thought you said she was a bird.
That's a falcon. That's a bird. Do your homework.
Oh, man, that was awesome. All right, so the movie is called Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. It was directed by Tim Burton. Rated PG-13. Runs about 2 hours and 7 minutes. You can find it in a theater near you. Coming up after the break, we're moving on to review number 900.
Woohoo!
It's Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. We'll get to that classic next, right here on KWOC.